is a regular council meeting. Before we get started, I'm going to welcome you. Thank you for coming this evening to the May 12th Clay City Council meeting. Before we begin, I would like to briefly explain the procedure for tonight. We have a couple of public hearings. Once you've been recognized by the mayor, please come to the podium. At the podium, state your name for the record, and also write your name and address on the sign-in sheet that's at the podium. And you will have 3 minutes for your comments. All comments should be directed to the council, and we ask that everyone remain respectful, avoid repeating comments already made, and allow each speaker to be heard. Please remember, tonight's meeting is being broadcast live on YouTube, and please silence or mute your cell phones and electronic devices. If you would like to make a public comment, this is not for the public hearing, but just during the public comment time, you are welcome to get a piece of paper and sign up and bring it up here for us. And you'll have your 3 minutes as well. Thank you, and tonight we will proceed with our agenda. First order of business is an invocation. Do I have a volunteer from the audience?
I'll be glad to.
Thank you, Miss Polly.
Will you bow your heads with me, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to bring the citizens of your community here in Clay together to do business that will benefit every single citizen. We know that you challenge us to be in unity, and while we may have some disagreements about specific things, Lord, I pray that your spirit would reign and that we would be able to come together and make decisions that is the best for everybody involved. We ask, Lord, that your love and your spirit would be with us and that we would shine your light in every decision we make. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Please stand for the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll take roll call.
Counselor Thompson.
Here.
Counselor Youngblood.
Present.
Counselor Now.
Here.
Counselor Harris.
Here.
Counselor Rush.
Here.
Mayor Anderson.
Here. We have a quorum. I'll accept a motion to approve the council minutes from April 21st, 2026.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll accept a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Thompson.
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood.
Yes.
Counselor Now.
Yes.
Counselor Harris.
Yes.
Counselor Rush.
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. All righty, we'll start off with our committee reports. The only things I have, been a little busy out and about. We had another second Saturday Clay cleanup. We were at Cosby Lake again. Cub Scout Pack 66 from Faith Community joined me and some neighbors, Lily and Joseph. We planted some natives at the head of the trail. We also planted the boxes. Several years ago, Mr. Jeremy Horton reminded me there's about several of the things that are out there that surround Cosby Lake have been added as Eagle Scout projects over the past 6 years. Well, there's at least 6 things, and I could only name 4, so I had to get him to help me. But we appreciate our scout troops and the way that they have added to our community and our enjoyment of Cosby Lake. Today I took the seniors on a bus ride to Aniana, and we went to Charlie B's, and all-you-can-eat buffet, because they tend to like all-you-can-eat buffets. But I heard a rumor that the gizzards were really rough, tough. I'm not touching a gizzard, so there we go. Let's see, and this Tuesday, 9 o'clock, May 19th, we will have a finance committee meeting in the conference room. So we're moving on, get ready to get started in depth on our budget for the year. Mr. Thompson?
Thank you, Mary. Get my specs on here. All righty, thank you for everyone for coming out tonight. It's great to see a big crowd here this evening. Also like to give a shout out to the new BZA officials. I know they had their first big meeting last night, and heard they did a great job. I had something come up, was unable to make it last night. We went down and the mayor and myself and Jody and Chris went down and attended the annual League of Municipalities conference. Learned a lot there. It was a lot of information they gave us. One thing that I learned that I don't think anybody else went to was I just got a shout out to our local police and firefighters, all our first responders, because I had an opportunity to participate in the FATS firearm training system, and it is just unbelievable how much a traffic stop can change just in a matter of milliseconds. So that was very eye-opening to me, you know, and so it just, in fact, one of the clerks that was down there, they had us in a room, and one of the clerks blasted a whole magazine full of a guy that was pulling out his wallet to show his driver's license. So it was a pretty intense thing. Also, I'm excited that we've got the DYS committee, the ad hoc committee here. I think that everybody, I know we introduced a couple of committee members, Mr. White, Chris White's back there in the back corner as well. So happy to work with them. Looking forward to being able to get some great information together for that. And I think that, I believe that's all I've got. Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Youngblood?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Two things. One, just want to reiterate what the mayor said. The finance committee is continuously gathering as we prepare the 26-27 budget. We want to be clear, we want to be diligent, and make sure we're identifying everything that should be in it, and making sure we're detailed as to what's in it and what will be coming in and what will be going out. And the second thing I like to say to everybody that's here and everybody that's listening online, mark your calendars for June 27th. We are prepping for our first annual City Fest. So we want everybody to make sure you spread the word. We'll start getting flyers completely out so you all can participate. This is going to be our way of galvanizing and pulling in the community so we can all become one and really make the city of Clay what it should be, starting with a great festival. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nail?
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to see everybody tonight. We had the honor, me and Councilmember Carly Youngblood had the honor of visiting all of our schools a couple weeks ago and got some amazing feedback
Yes.
from all the principals. They were just couldn't thank the city enough for all the support we give them throughout the year and so forth. And their number one, I don't know if she will remember, the number one, everyone of the principals said what, Carl?
Go ahead.
Cut the grass. Thanks enough for taking care of cutting their grass. I mean,
Taking care of that
you would think
lawn.
it would be something extraordinary, but thank you for cutting the grass. So anyway, they really appreciate all we do, and that's one of my pillars to take care of our schools. So anyway, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Harris?
Sergeant Graham, do you want to share a few thoughts? And while he's walking up here, Sergeant Graham is being considered for a promotion to lieutenant. He has an interview tomorrow. And I'd like to see him leave us because that means he got promoted.
Well, hopefully I can stick around if that happens, so I'm pulling for that.
Yeah, the vacancy is out this way, so this would be a plus.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you. I've just got a short report. Total of 55 calls this past week, and as I mentioned before, it's creeping up just a little bit. Summertime's getting hotter, people are getting out. With that being mentioned, it's supposed to be 90 this weekend, so if you're the type of person who wants to get in a cool car, please take your keys with you. We do not want to come and be filing a report for a stolen vehicle because you wanted to leave the air conditioner on. I get it, but if you can lock your car and take your key with you, that's always a plus. Most of the calls we had this week, actually thefts were up, so we had 12 thefts, 6 patrol requests, 5 complaints, investigate complaints, that's just general calls, 4 traffic stops, 2 accidents with an injury, 1 fire, 1 animal nuisance, 1 medical call, and 1 burglary alarm of a business. And I will tell you, as things are getting a little bit busier in the summertime, we do what I call a suppression detail. So we have 3 different cities that we serve: Centerpoint, Pinson, and Clay. And what I do is I take all of those deputies out of each of those cities for 4 hours. So we still have coverage in those cities, and we do just a proactive detail. So we take statistics from our metro area crime center, see where we're having hot spots, and then we focus on those. So we did Centerpoint last week, and we had great success with that. We had several warrants cleared, several people just, I'm not big on tickets. I think a warning does just as much as a ticket does, and it doesn't cost you any money. That's just how I feel. Most of the deputies feel that way as well. We're out there to enforce traffic laws and make things safer. I don't really believe in charging you for that, because you're paying taxes anyways, right? And we're all struggling to pay for groceries right now anyways. But our next suppression detail will be in the city of Clay. I don't have a date for that yet. So we'll get out here and you'll see us working for you. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Graham.
All right, Chief Donald's not here tonight, but a couple of things that affect the city of Clay. First, we just received our refurbished Rescue 14, which is the rescue truck stationed down in Clay. Picked it up, it went in service Monday. So you were seeing in the past a smaller van style. This is back to our traditional square box truck. And then let's talk about smoke detectors. There was a house fire several weeks ago in Twin Lakes in the city of Clay. All members of the house got out because the smoke detectors woke them up from a sound sleep. The house was a total loss. Without the smoke detectors, this might not have ended as well. If you don't have smoke detectors, if you want more smoke detectors, if you're not sure yours are still working currently, if you will call 205-853-5098, that's the phone number for the Centerpoint Fire District Business Office. They will schedule someone to come put smoke detectors in your house at no charge. There's no reason for you not to have working smoke detectors. They could save your life. That's all I have.
Could you give that number one more time, Joe?
205-853-5098. Don't call 911. They don't do smoke detectors.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, Dr. Rich.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's always good to see everyone, especially with such a large crowd. We're grateful for your attendance and want to be a part of what's going on in the city of Clay. Just a few quick updates from the library. We had our, last month had our library meeting, but I know we had a few things that's going on. But again, just want to make sure that you know there are going to be summer reading programs that'll be there. There'll be different events. I think we incorporated some tumbling this time and some different things that'll be going on. So if you have those students, grandkids, or anyone, please make sure that they're getting involved. We are providing the opportunities, and we don't want them to not have something to do over the summertime, keeping them active, keeping them learning. So they'll be going back to the schools refreshed for the new school year and take advantage of those opportunities. Also, want to let you know that Clay Chalker High School will have their 2026 graduation on May 17th. That is a Sunday. That's very different from any other year, but as you know, we do not have a football stadium. So we will be at the BJCC this Sunday for graduation starting at 2 p.m. Also, we need to, council members, we need to look and think about a date for a hearing. We do need to set a date for a hearing coming up, so we need to kind of look and see what will be some appropriate times when we can get a hearing on the docket and get that scheduled and move like we need to.
All right. So somebody throw me a date out there.
Well, I think we better start with Dr. Russ, and she's, I think that'll be the starting point.
So let's look at the week of the 18th, and try making sure we can get that done. I can do any of those days at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Cause I'll have a graduate then, so I don't have anything to attend anymore.
Look at
Monday's
you,
best
look
for me.
at you.
Monday's best for me. I'm out of town, the 19th, 20th.
Okay,
I can do the 18th.
18th is good for me as well.
I can do the 18th.
18th, good.
Okay.
Are we want to do in the evening or in the morning or?
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. on 18th.
I haven't heard back from them yet, so I'm assuming that I was not selected. But during the conference, the Florida Associated wanted me to go to Washington DC that week. But I've not heard back from them, so I would say that I would have heard something by now, I would think, so.
Oh, yeah, if it's next,
Yeah, I haven't reached back out to them, but as long as that doesn't happen, then I'm
Okay. So we want to set that date for May 18th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
Are you available, Mr. Marola?
Yes.
Work. All right, Mayor, that's all I have.
Is that enough time, because I know he had wanted to postpone it, or somebody wanted to postpone it,
Is that enough time, or do we need to, look at another, date later in that week?
That day is fine with me.
Okay.
Someone said there was a deadline as far as my exhibits.
Mhm.
I never received any information regarding stuff like when that would be due.
Okay.
So if
And
it's-
that was your exhibits?
Yes.
Okay. I'll check on that for you and let you know.
All right. Anything else? We're moving on to reading of petitions, applications, and the public hearing. So ordinance 2602 is an ordinance to, levy an additional 5 mil ad valorem tax, and this is, I'm questioning that, but it goes on to say, money designated and appropriated for public education purposes. So would anyone like to address that issue as a part of this public hearing?
I would.
You're gonna get a chance in a minute.
So this is when the public can get up and talk about for or against the tax.
Correct.
I like to whisper from the corner.
She said she was for it. Oh, would you like to come up?
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. McAllister, I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to, but nobody's addressing. sign this, right? before-
Yes, please.
I'm
We don't
doing
want
it
your,
else.
we don't want your,
You'll have to-
address
I know,
on
everybody,
the YouTube, but we do,
they know where I live, I know.
yeah, we do.
I'm Bill McAllister, I'm a 55-year resident of Clay, or this area. I was hoping y'all would explain the tax. Was this before, or are you not wanting to go into that at all? Explain it. I'm a staunch, no new taxes. I go back to when Fob James left office, and in the back of the state tax forms, he said, we pay enough, but they're all earmarked. However, from what I have heard about this one, this is one we had and was repealed, and nobody knew we were paying it, or it went away. Can you explain that? That's all I'm asking. If it's what I think it is, I'm for it, so.
Okay, so this ordinance expressly states that this levy is intended as a new and separate levy. In 2012, there was an ad valorem tax of 5%, added to your property tax, your personal property tax. In September of 25, the current council at that time elected to take away that ad valorem tax. The way ad valorem tax works in your escrow account is that it goes in and is assessed in a year in arrears. So when they took it away in September for the upcoming year, which is this year, 2026, it would be coming out of your escrow account in December. So it hasn't moved out of your escrow account at this point.
So in essence, we had this tax, it's temporarily gone away, nobody, I don't even know what all the taxes are paid and stuff like that, and this is kind of reinstating it? Is that a legal word to use, or?
It's not being reinstated, because, we want the record to be clear that this ordinance stands on its own.
Okay,
It has its own effective date, it has its own stated purpose and accountability requirements.
all right,
When they first instituted it, the theory was, we're gonna see if we're gonna have our own school system or our own police department. Within a year or two of that, they decided neither one of those things is gonna happen, so they just added that money back to the general fund, and that's where it's been since then.
okay, I'm for it, give it that explanation.
The proceeds of this are intended for education-related public purposes. That doesn't lock us into one recipient or one use, but preserves the council's discretion on keeping the use tied to education-related public benefit. And at this point, the reason that I feel that this needs to happen tonight, is that if we do not pass this by June 1st, then that goes into effect. And there's a couple of things that have gone on with the state legislature, which are going to require, a referendum for any new taxes. So, and that would cost the city money. A vote, any vote, what is it about? Was it about $7,000? Or was that the low? For a citywide referendum would be several $1,000s for you to get the machines to do all of the ballots and all of that kind of stuff. So.
Poll workers and the ballot.
And the poll workers, et cetera. So right now, we have a window of opportunity to put this back before anybody misses it. And if we don't do that, then we're gonna have a budget shortfall of $600,000, come December, or come January 1st.
Can I make a public comment, or do I need to?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Polly McClure. I've lived in the community for about 50 years. And my question is this in addition to the money we already have or will have in the budget in this upcoming budget, the 26-27?
Mm-hmm.
So is this in addition to that? Because I know we have Chris been giving money to the schools, so would this be in addition?
This would be,
cost of
We,
it.
we had originally thought that we would put it in a specific fund for the schools. But looking at it, it would be better for us to just do that as a line item, part of the budget, as we have been doing in the past.
Okay, that's all I need.
So this is a replacement for the funds that we're already giving to the schools.
Well, I mean, we were giving it out of the general fund budget, and we will continue to give it out of the general fund budget. But if we elect not to bring back, this is a new one, but to bring back, if you wanna say it that way, the 5 mil ad valorem tax, then there will be a $600,000 shortfall when we get ready to do the budget. Because that money will come, will no longer be available come the end of December.
Well, I mean, it's not, I know we've gotta talk about it when we get to the hearing, but that's, the numbers are, I've got the numbers in front of me when we get to our portion of discussing it, so I think there's some confusion about some of the numbers and some confusion about the funding.
Okay. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak on this issue as part of the public hearing? Come on up. Come on down. Matt Clay, you're the next contestant.
I'm Matt Clay. I've lived in Clay pretty much since I was about 5 years old. So my only concern is I know the way we were doing it, but we knew money was going towards schools, but we didn't ever really know what the money was going towards. So I have a lot of questions about just reinstituting something and just putting it in the general fund without having something that tracks the money going towards the schools and what it's going for. Because I'm all for supporting schools. And I don't have a problem with paying tax if it's going to something good that is benefiting the schools and the students there. So that is the one thing I want to make sure is if this does get instituted, is that there is a tracking and a public information of what is being donated to the schools, and that we know that it's going to a good purpose.
Okay, accountability is built into this ordinance. The important, and that's important because of public funds. So they must be traceable, reviewable, and only used for lawful public purposes. So any recipient of these funds has to use those proceeds only for that approved purpose. They need to maintain the records for that. If required by the council, be subject to an audit or review by the city if need be. I have the same issue as you, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted the outside agencies to have that opportunity to come before us as a finance committee and say, here's what we desire from you. Let us judge it. We approve, disapprove it. We bring it to the council as a whole. And all of that happens before we set that budget. So that we have an idea. Because we heard that all of the schools enjoy that we cut the grass. Did you know that it was, if we took that, and we said, and that's our city employees, and that's their time, and we're paying as a city for all of that grass to get cut. It takes them a week. That's a total of right at $70,000 a year in kind that we're giving to the schools as a benefit.
Right.
So that needs to be noted because that's accountability.
Right.
And one last thing I would add to that she did mention, but I want to just clarify totally. Knowing exactly what's going to the schools will be identified up front and identified totally, line item by line item in the budget.
Amen.
So it's not like we're gonna have a clue as to what's going out in June, what's gonna go out in this point in time. It'll all be identified up front in the budget before anything is decided on.
Good.
Because I do think schools are important to a city.
Absolutely.
You know, and the better we can make the schools, the better the city becomes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure that whatever we're paying in taxes is going to something that's going to benefit
Mr. Howell.
Mark Howell, been resident of Clay probably for about 21 years. So I just wanted to publicly, I don't know how to say this, remind that the previous council repealed this levy as a gesture to apply to our garbage fees, which is ludicrous when it's done in a year in advance, a year in arrears. So we would never actually, citizens of Clay would never actually see that repeal of that money until next year. So if you're really trying to say you're, want to support schools or something, I would strongly urge you to pass this in a way that it can be earmarked and used for schools and not some baloney excuse that, oh, y'all go give us back money on the garbage fees. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm writing my address.
I know, I can't talk and type at the same time.
I'm just gonna write my address.
Yes, thank you. Last call. Anybody else?
Appreciate it.
Mr. Dawson.
Go ahead, this whole planning and zoning board's got nothing spoken.
I didn't put that together, but you're right.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Eddie Dawson. Just want to voice my opinion, praying that the councilman can come to a great decision on. My belief on schools are very high. All my kids came through the city of Clay, from small grade school all the way to graduates. And I feel that you can't miss what you can't measure. So 90%, or probably all of us didn't know that we was missing that 5%. I mean, I only wish we can increase it, but from my understanding, we can't go over 5% for whatever.
Without a referendum vote from the people.
So, I would hope that we would bring that back. The city can use that. From the past, from what we've been noticing, that we're making sure everybody's held accountable for the money that's spent from the city. So if we can bring that back, I think it'll be a great fund for the school system, because we always saying that we're failing in grades, but it's multiple things that cause that failing. And because we don't have large industries in this area who dump money into the school system, we as the citizens need to step up and continue to want this for our kids. If we give them more, they can give back out more. And I'm a strong believer. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no more comments concerning ordinance 2602 and the 5 mil ad valorem, we'll move on to the 503, which is an ordinance to adopt the city's flood damage prevention ordinance.
I make a motion, we approve ordinance 2020.
We're still at public hearing.
Public
We're
hearing.
still at public
It's
hearing.
still in public hearing.
Sorry.
Give them a chance to discuss
I
it.
thought you were going home.
Mr. Jordan, let's go.
Anybody have any comment that they'd like to make about the, us adopting the city's flood damage prevention ordinance? Then we'll move on to AL.
She can't
speak. Again, I will say that it doesn't really change anything, we're just updating the language so that, we are in compliance with the state of Alabama. And, Moving on to ALC 26002, an alcoholic beverage license to Liquor Discount Clay at Deerfoot Parkway, Suite 102. Do we have anyone who would like to speak in that case as part of this public hearing? Kevin? And Philip?
Good evening, everybody. I will thank you for this opportunity. No, this is very, it's going to be a little exciting because I have the Chelsea Blue right here by the Shell gas station here. And we have a lot of competition there. We have 3 stores of liquor stores, Texaco, Liquor Depot, and we have Chelsea Blues. And that'd be the smallest one there. There's a lot of, you can feel a lot of squeeze. Until recently, I didn't know, I wanted to transfer the Liquor Depot, and that's what the Deerfoot Parkway. I had a small space there by the Piggly Wiggly. And I know that's going to be better sales, more money for the city in terms of taxes that I can pay, and also be able to hire some people to work there. So this is something that if I can get the license for that location, I know it's going to benefit the city and also me as a businessman, and maybe able to expand in the future. So I hope that the city council will approve that, and if there's any obstacle to that relocation, I hope there's a way of maybe petition for the 5th one, for the 5th license, because I know we have 3 liquor stores that I know, that I'm aware of right now. If we have more than 3 licenses, I don't know where the other location is, but I look forward to having this location in Deerfoot area.
How long have you been in business?
In this location, I've been for more than a year.
And is this the only store you own?
Right now, that's the only, 2 businesses in one that I own, the gas station and the liquor store.
Do you own both of those businesses?
Yes, right now.
Anybody else have any questions for?
So this is not a transfer, this is for an application for a 5th.
So if I get a standalone license there, then I don't have to worry about transferring. But if there's no other option, I would like to get that one. I know transferring is easy.
Okay. So would you have 2 stores then? The Deerfoot Parkway and Chelsea Blues here
Now,
in Sweeney Hollow?
If I get the new license, then it'll be 2 stores. But the Shell gas station is still gonna be there, even if the liquor store moved there, I'm still gonna have the gas station there. So the Shell is not moving anywhere, there's no way I can move the gas station, but I'm
Right.
still gonna have that.
Okay. Does anybody have any more questions?
So, Dr. Rush asked the question, is there gonna be a 5th? Is that what we're saying? I'm a little confused now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ordinance 2025-01 only allows 4, and now we've got 4.
We have 4 in place. That's my biggest concern, staying within the ordinance.
So we're just talking about moving the Chelsea
Well, no,
to,
he's talking about getting a new license. at
Getting a
this
new
point.
license.
okay.
So that will be the 5th one, which
Right.
is against what it is requiring. It said 4.
So where is the 4th one?
The Papa
It's at the
Sal's.
Papa
It's
Sal's.
not open yet,
It's
we
not
granted
open.
them a license.
We've issued 4 licenses.
But the fourth license is issued out.
Okay. Well, according to the city of Mobile versus Cincinnati, maybe? It is unlawful for a city to put a number on how many of any kind of business there can be.
Was that an alcohol case?
Yes, this was an alcohol case.
And
So I think that the number that we have listed is something that we need to spend a little more time on. Rick, can you grab your microphone there? You just thought you were not gonna get called on. You're aware of this?
I've been made aware, generally,
Closer.
I have not studied that case to determine its applicability in this case, but I think it stands for the general proposition that
It's something we-
arbitrarily deciding 4 or 6 or whatever, the test is whether the council's decision is arbitrary and capricious. And I think that case stands for the proposition that, in that case, just picking a number that is not related to anything other than
We don't want any more liquor stores in our
that it's a
town.
number, was determined to be arbitrary, and was struck down. That is my understanding. But I'm unclear whether this is the, is there a surrender of the existing,
Right.
so this would be the 5th and not a surrender and a replacement of the 4th? Or?
This will be a 5th.
There is no transfer. This is not a transfer of the license.
It's not listed as a transfer at all.
You know, that's what gets me is, before when the one moved out of the strip next to Publix around to the chiropractor shop, it was a
move.
It was a
Transfer move.
the license moved from one physical location to another with the same owner. So I'm confused here. Were you giving up the license at your current location and moving it to your new location?
No, sir. So this is going to be a new, because this is a different, like, the distance between here to Deerfoot is 4 miles. So and I know some people there would appreciate to have a liquor store close to them there than having to travel here or travel to Strasburg area. So
So you're going to, you or somebody is going to maintain the store in the current location, and there will be a new entity
Yes,
at
sir.
the Deerfoot.
Yes, sir.
Why would you not relinquish this and move it out there? Is there a problem with you?
Yeah, because the landlord has to approve that transfer. Like if I have to move from that building and he is okay with that, then that's gonna be, but that's not, what the landlord, I'm sure, because he's here, he's gonna speak for himself. And I'm sure he don't want to relinquish that, just because if you want to sell the property in the future without the liquor store, it may be a little less value as opposed to selling with the liquor store.
Okay, so hold on a second, because I asked you if you owned those properties, and now you're saying landlord.
No, I'm leasing the properties, yeah.
You're
I own
leasing the
business.
properties
I own the
with
business.
the intent to purchase?
Initially, it was with the intent to purchase, but that's something that we are still discussing with the landlord.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. Any more questions?
Can I speak?
Yes, let him finish his, are you done?
Yeah,
Thank you. All right,
Call in, commenter. There you go.
Kevin, would you like to speak? I'm gonna let him speak first, because his hand was right behind. Phillips.
Hey, good evening, everybody. And, it's the first time I'm seeing Jody being here in the meeting. And my name is Kevin, spelled as Kavine, not the normal Kevin. My second name is Ochieng. And I'm a resident of Clay since 2017, December. And I'm still in Clay, and I don't think I'm going anywhere. So, and that's why I decided to do my business here in the community that I stay in. So you received the email late because I was still consulting with my legal process, and I apologize for the email coming in late on the email that was being said. So I'm the owner of Chalkville Shell, which Philip is my tenant. And I also own the Chalkville Chevron, which I lease, and I own the property and the land in Chalkville Shell. So Philip, I leased the place to him, and I put up, as you can see on the letter, if it's necessary, and I have 3 minutes, I can read what I did for the public, or if I don't have to, I'll just speak freely. And I stand
Your choice.
I stand guided. So when I put up the packet store, it was just to also improve business and improve the tax base within the city of Clay. When I was putting it, there was a moratorium of 2. So I've never seen a document that specifies that moratorium of 2, but it was available with the previous administration, specifically the city manager. Was known to everybody here. All of a sudden, there was another competition brought literally right next to the school. If we would have wanted, we would have bought the property and tried to put one next to school, which I did not really appreciate. He could have gone somewhere else, but rules are rules. It's 750 feet door to door, and front of the school was the best place to put it. We accepted. So now we have 3 liquor stores in one place. Philip is saying, what he's saying is correct. But what keeps that Shell station going on right now is that liquor store being there is able to fight the competition. I wouldn't allow any, after spending over 200, almost close to 250,000 within the whole remodeling and everything, plus everything, just for him to come and take my Jill, the one that I put over there for the sake of the business, to take. So there's a process. He's right. There's a transfer process. And Mayor Anderson, I'm pretty sure you might be well conversant with it, but on this probably, maybe I'll say it here. The process is you have to go through the ABC, which he knows he has to come to me first. I give him the lease. So, and I have to give him the lease on that particular. So this is not a transfer. So if we go by the notion that there's only 4 package stores here, and that is what we are going by, if that's what we are going by, then I have no option but to decline that. But if that's not the case, if they can allow him to have another one over there, I'm okay as long as this one stays and he commits to a peaceful transfer of license, and I'm okay. But if that's not the case, there is no way I'm going to accept to have the business run down. As of right now, he is intentionally sabotaging that particular store because he was sure today he's going to receive this, because apparently, like I said, the mayor was the friend, and we have already addressed that with the mayor.
Yes.
It was,
Okay.
It was Francis. So
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Matt? You don't have to sign in again. No, you finish yours.
All right, I just wanted to say this. When I got on the planning and zoning board, it was after that Mexico gas station had already been approved. And I was told that the ordinance we had against alcohol liquor stores was set at 4 in order to not have a fifth one come in, because we don't need liquor stores outnumbering restaurants here. So, that's one of the things I got told, but I also got told that in the ordinance was, any new stores had to be like either 1.5 miles or 3 miles apart. So, that's another thing we need to consider, because I was on the planning and zoning board when the liquor store in the same building at Papa Sal's was approved. And we had an issue because the location that Papa Sal's was in had a previous restaurant that had a liquor's license. And that's why we pretty much couldn't deny this new liquor store going in, even though it's on the opposite end of Papa Sal's, it's in the same physical building. And because of that, that's why they were granted the liquor license. So I'm not exactly sure where this location is gonna be, but if it's on Deerfoot, I'm sure it's within the 1.5 miles to 3 miles.
The Daylight Donuts and the Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
Okay, so that's something that needs to be considered and looked at as well. But I'm just gonna tell you, as a citizen, I wouldn't be for it. I would rather have a restaurant go in or some other kind of tax serving business, because we do already have 4 liquor stores that are gonna be in the city. So just kind of consider that into this, the mileage and how close everything is to each other, to the other ones that have already been approved.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dawson, or
Matt said it all.
Ken? Somebody in the back.
Matt said it all.
Matt said it all, okay?
Thank you, Matt.
All right, anybody else would like to speak to this? You had another comment?
No, I just want to respond. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna take 1 minute to respond to what Kevin said. Personally, I didn't know that transfer, because I have the license that I might know. So I thought it's easy to transfer the license from one building to another within the city. But knowing that, it's not like I'm trying to sabotage his business. I know you mentioned that. So I want his business to succeed, and I'm still gonna be there as a landlord, as a tenant for him. But this one for me, I think is more business for me compared to how squeezed I am there. So I'm not pursuing the transfer, but if I can get that license by the airport area, then I know I can get some more business for to be able to support my family, and also support pay the taxes too, because I want to be a tax-paying citizen here and be able to employ some more people there, create some job opportunities. So,
All right,
yeah, nobody's planning for any sabotage of business.
thank you. Miss, and I think that's gonna end our, public hearings. We'll move on to public comments. Miss Linda Habib?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Hobbit. I am with Grace Klein Community. We're a nonprofit based in Hoover. Our primary initiative is Feed BHM. We rescue food from restaurants, grocery stores, and provide it to people facing food insecurity. We are going to be opening a location here in Pelham. The address is 5271 Old Springville Road. Our ribbon cutting is going to be Friday, June 5th. From that location, we will be working with partners who come and pick up food. Think of people like Church of the Highlands, organizations like that. They'll take the food and go back and feed their community. We're going to have a give and take room with clothing, and we will also have an area that has books, so it's really to serve the community. So we would love for y'all to come to the ribbon cutting, see what we're going to be doing in the location. We'd love for you to volunteer. We're also going to be hiring people, so if you know anyone looking for a job, We will have positions open, and there's a flyer out here with information on us, and I think that's about it.
Could you give us that address one more time, and what time will the ribbon cutting be?
Yeah, the address is 5271 Old Springville Road, and the ribbon cutting is June 5th at 10 a.m.
Give you a landmark, it's the former Clearview Baptist Church.
There we go. And we are excited that you are going to be in town. If you visited our library, senior center, or the front door of Clay City Hall, you have seen a green 55-gallon drum, and that's where they take their donations. They take shoes, toiletries, personal products, canned and non-perishable food, clothing, household goods, anything that'll fit in that bucket.
We do. We take all of those items. We are recycling plastic. We'll take your glass jars. Trader Joe's donates flowers to us, and we have a program called Love Does. We take flowers to the community, to the school systems for teacher appreciation. This has been a crazy week. Anyway, so we're excited to be here.
Thank you.
What's the name of the organization?
Grace Klein Community.
It's Grace Klein Community. We have a location in Bessemer, we have a location in Pelham, we have a food drive-through for individuals on Old Rocky Ridge and Hoover. So we are expanding.
And is that something, let me just ask you, is that something that will be available here?
Initially, no.
Okay.
I think when we get large donation loads, so we'll get an 18-wheeler of bananas or green beans or whatever, I think they'll open it up here. We'll post that on Facebook. We do that at our Bessemer location as well. We'll just say, show up, and people will show up. So, and we just give it out. There's no questions. You know, we do ask for a demographics card with number of household, number of senior citizens, children. That helps with our grants.
Okay.
But yeah.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say that is one of the best organizations. I do volunteer services for them. I volunteer for them. I pick up food, the different boxes at restaurants, and I do it through Junior League, and it is fantastic to provide to those that are in need. So this is a great thing.
Thank you. All right, we can move on and enter into unanimous consent. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Marola, do you need a?
Hunter Marola, last time I spoke here, I mentioned there was a warrant out for my arrest. I thought the mayor had rescinded that warrant, but 2 days later, the county police showed up and picked me up from my house. So I don't know why they didn't arrest me here that night. But, so I have a criminal hearing Thursday. State of Alabama versus Hunter Marola. And I've understood that the mayor made an offer to not pursue this criminal stuff if I drop my employment hearing. Is that true, Mayor?
And also offered you the opportunity to resign.
Okay, so the only way you're gonna drop this criminal stuff is if I do that?
Correct.
Okay. And Mr. Bearden's not handling this, right?
That's correct.
So you hired a new city attorney for this?
We felt it was in the best interest.
How much is that costing the city?
This is not a question and answer period.
Oh, that's right. This is not a question and answer period.
You're involved now? Okay. I'm sorry, that's all I have.
Yes. Philip and Kevin, y'all are good, right, with your public hearing that you have? Okay. Now, we will proceed and enter into unanimous consent. We need a roll call vote for that? Oh, and a motion, thank you.
I'll make a motion that we enter into unanimous consent.
Second.
Now we vote.
Counselor Thompson?
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood?
Yes.
Counselor Nail?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Rush?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes. Move on to old business. This is ordinance 26501. That ordinance, I'm gonna change the wording there because we're not reinstating an additional 5 mil. This is a new and separate levy because it requires, a little bit more accountability, than the previous ordinance had. And I would also like to, change that with money designated, we will change that to the intent, to be used. These proceeds are intended to be used for public-related purposes. But we're not gonna designate it, we're not gonna put it in a specific fund, because that limits us, and we're just gonna use it as a line item, as we have previously been doing, a line item in our general budget, and move the money out of general fund. So, discussion, since we've had our, we didn't get a motion yet? What, we waiting on? Okay. So do I need to read it again? Ordinance 2602, an ordinance to levy a 5 mil ad valorem tax within the corporate limits of the city of Clay, to provide for the assessment and collection thereof, to declare the city's intent regarding a new and separate levy and existing bond requirements. It says 02 here. So
There's no discussion, right, at this moment?
we're waiting on a motion.
Okay.
I need a motion and a second.
May I make a motion that we, accept ordinance 2026-0502 as read?
Second.
All right, now we can discuss.
All right, lots of discussion on this from me on this. So, I know we've changed this a couple of times, but I've got a lot of concerns for this tax. We removed this tax. You know, it's costing each household roughly $300 a year, so it's not a lot of money. You know, looking at the taxes, in the time that this tax has been put into place, and when this tax was originally brought in, this tax was brought in to look into a police force or a private school system for the city of Clay. When the tax was enacted, the city had approximately $1.7 million. We had some debt, so we actually had less money than that. You know, this tax, over the period this tax was in place, it's brought in a total of $4.4 million, just under $4.4 million. And as of the information that we got, as of April of this year, we've got $12.8 million in the bank. That's the documents that we've got. It was $12,803,841.30. If we didn't have this tax in place over this time period, the city's still well within their budget. We would still have an additional $6.7 million more than we had before we started the taxes. And looking at what we're spending at the schools, so I've got the taxes in front of us, but this tax is roughly, it's gone up over the few years, but like last year's was for some reason the 2024, 2025, and maybe it's because people haven't paid their taxes yet. But it was about $40,000 roughly less than 23 and 24. I think that we're well within what we need to do for the schools without this budget, without this added into the city's funds. And I just don't feel like that we need to that we need to be charging the residents for a tax if we don't need the money. If we had a great, something to do with this money, then I would be all about it. You know, if we've got a use for this money, but just looking over the numbers, I don't feel like we need this tax, and I'm completely against it, just because of that. During this time period where we've gone up, $6.7 million, not counting the tax, we've paid down a lot of the city debt. We've built a new library, we've built a splash pad, we've built a pickleball facility, we've restored the American Legion building. We've had several large improvements at Cosby Lake. We did some upgrades to the ball fields. We just paid for a new scoreboard for the football field. We paid for digital signs at the schools. And we put on a just amazing fireworks show. You know, the money that we're giving to the schools, we're already giving, you know, we're giving roughly $500,000. I've got that information in front of us. And this year so far, we've already given $655,667 to the school. And I realize that $500,000 of that roughly is the scoreboard. So, but we're not done giving to the schools for the year. So, but last year without the scoreboard, 2024, 2025, we gave $480,000. So the city's already giving money to the schools. And I just don't see why we're taking money from the citizens. If there's a great plan in place that we need this money for, I'm all about taxing for this money. But let's give the people an opportunity to vote on it. Let's make this a 6 mil tax so that residents have an opportunity to vote on it if we want to put this tax back in place. And you know, one of the other things is the council packet, you know, announcing this. I realize that we're on Facebook and we're doing things, but there were some problems with the announcements for this. Our council packet didn't get to the public about this tax. You couldn't even download it yesterday afternoon. You know, they finally got that fixed. It wasn't working on the website, and I know we're going through a lot of changes with the website, but I'm really surprised not to see anybody here. But I've looked at the numbers, I've run the numbers. If I thought we needed it, I would be all for it, but I'm looking at the numbers. Unless you can show me a way to do the math differently, I don't see a reason that we need this at all.
Anyone else?
Well, I would say, as the chair of the finance committee, he made it very clear himself that city at that time had roughly 1.7 million. Now we roughly have 12, even though all that 12 is not allowed for us to use. But that accumulation came, one, because of this tax. So, first of all, if we don't do the tax, how many years is it gonna take before we're back to 1.7 million? Second of all, wait, let me finish. Second of all, you're excited about the DSY property. How do you think we're gonna do anything over there with what we already have? And without this tax, your number's already going down every year. But yet you're gonna be excited to spend money on the DYS property? The math won't matter. It will not add up. And if I thought it was truly hurting the citizens, I would totally be against it. But one, they hadn't even felt the effects of it because it's been happening. It's been happening. So I can't see why we wouldn't do this to continue to improve and better our schools, because that's the base of it, to improve and better our schools. So if you want to maintain where we are and you want to consider doing anything, and I mean anything at that DSY property, you need to think twice and redo your numbers.
Well, so we went up, you know, if you take the tax out, we still went up $6 million and spent millions of dollars over the 10-year period. So saying that it's not there, and this is this going to be additional funding for the schools, or is this going to be, is this just replacing the funding that we're already giving the schools?
We're not replacing it, we're maintaining, if you will. But what we're saying, it's new in a sense to say the way we're gonna maintain it as far as the way we're gonna distribute it, the way we're gonna identify it, the way we're gonna make sure it's saying it's going for this particular purposes. But it's the same money that's going to the schools.
But we just changed this to say intended, not designated for the schools, and we're not keeping this designated in another fund. So.
Correct, and there's some reasons for that, that I would love for Jody to get into.
As part of the bonds, the debt that we have out, I'll read out of one of them. The issuer hereby covets and agrees to levy and collect taxes to the maximum extent permitted by law. At such rates or rates shall make available tax proceeds when added to the revenue of the issuer, that would be us, from other sources will be sufficient to pay reasonable expenses carrying on the government functions and to pay the debt service. My concern is this bond issue, and this is just one, we have three, requires us to raise the maximum possible revenue. And by law, the maximum we can raise on a property levy without a referendum is 5 mils.
How much is left on that bond? And when does that bond expire?
32.
It pays off in 2032.
And what's the balance on that bond right now? Because we've not been provided with that information.
I don't know the balance off the top of my head. It's in our audit report, but I don't know that number off the top of my head. I'm aware that there is a penalty if we try. One of our options could be to take some of our reserves and pay off our bonds if they're possible. Some of them have penalties on them that will not allow us to pay, or will only allow us to pay them off at certain points in time.
This particular one is $2 million, and you could pay it off early, but you're also required to pay all of the debt as if it waited out till 2032. So
we would have to pay all the interest that would have accumulated whether
Correct.
we delay it or not.
Correct, which, that's why you have a bond.
And
That's the penalty part.
yeah, that's the penalty part. That's why and so it's putting us a little bit of a risk now. I could make the argument, I would make the argument, that because we're paying the bonds debt timely, that the bonding company is not going to require us to do anything different.
But they do
But I
have a
can't
right if
promise
they
you
want
that
it.
they won't, if they get over, they could.
The option is there.
Mhm. I would also bring up, just like you just said, the maximum extent permitted by law, that there are several things that have been neglected, we have not taken care of, and one of them is large-scale paving of our roads. One of them is the spillway at Cosby Lake, which if you've been there and seen the erosion and the way that that spillway is in need of being addressed. Again, we've mentioned the DYS property. So we actually have some pretty large bills that need to come due, that we need to continue to take care of, because one of the things that a city is required to do is take care of its city services, and that includes paving roads. And so that can eat up a chunk of that money. And I would say, when you're talking about the people couldn't find this, as of yesterday, that this was the second reading, and that same exact ordinance was out there 3 weeks ago.
So this money will not be earmarked, is what I'm gathering now.
If we earmark the money, the bond company could come to us and say, you are out of your contract, because your contract with us says that we have access to your general funds, the ones that are not allowed, like the gas tax and that kind of thing. And so if we earmark this money and designate it as in a separate fund, then that could be an issue for the bond companies.
Okay.
But
Because
none
they
of that-
wouldn't have access, if they called the bond, we wouldn't have access to that money, because we have specifically designated it for a certain purpose.
Okay.
that does not prevent us from doing as has happened over the past decade and doing a line item in our operations budget directed to the schools.
So this will provide the flexibility to be able to use the funds for the schools and any other addition that you see fit to do the line item for.
If we needed to, yes.
So when we do the finance committee does the budgeting, they will budget out
Line item for schools.
and a number.
Well, and first, before we get to that point, we will hear from the schools. We will have a meeting with the principals and say, tell us what you need and give us a general direction of what you need it for. So that we can come in with a number, or a number for each school. And then, according to our, outside agency, then we've got something that we can go, okay, tell us how you did. And they can come in and they can tell us how they did. And we expect a great day.
And so for that, Chris, I'll say, thank you for taking me to all the schools and introducing me to everybody, because like you said, we had great conversations.
Right.
And so that really gave me an insight as what they're doing, what they're in need of, how they've been utilizing it in the past, and how we can move forward in the future to make sure that everybody's clear as to what we're doing with it. So yes, we definitely have that laid out up front.
Yes.
Is there any more discussion on ordinance 26501?
Well, it's 501 or 502, because the council packet says 2602.
It's on two.
It's 02. And this is just a typo in on the agenda.
We'll change the number.
Yeah, I noticed that, so. And
It's already had a number.
that's what I was trying to look at, because I know the dates are different from the previous council packet. I pulled that up versus this, but is that the only thing that changed in the time period between the two? And we're,
I'd have to look at his. I think the words, the top thing, to declare the city's intent regarding a new and separate levy and existing bond requirements, rather than what yours says.
Councilmember Thompson, it would strip away any mention of a separate account, a separate fund for the schools, anything pertaining to that under what is being proposed now, if I understand correctly, would be stripped away.
that's what I was looking at, so that's, I was trying to see if that, because our previous had that on it, but it looks like the council packet, we changed that last time. I'm trying to make sure that we haven't had any changes between the two readings on it.
Don't put intent there, I mean, and you're also gonna need to take section 3
That's what I
out.
wanna see,
that's what I'm
section
looking
3
at
if
right
I can
now.
find on my phone. Yeah, section 3 has to be
Yeah.
taken out
Yep.
if we're gonna change the word to intent.
Right?
And can we make changes to it without having another public hearing on it? If we're changing
Yes.
if we're changing it. That's a great question.
It seems to me like an amendment.
Okay.
So, I mean, you had the public hearing, it's up for discussion, and if there is an amendment to the resolution, then, that would not require, an additional hearing.
Well, I mean, but the people that saw this before saw this, this section that's gonna be in the, City of Clay Education Support Fund, and then section 4, are we changing that because we're changing to the intent, funds shall be used exclusively for public education purposes? Are we changing any of that, since we're saying that we're intending to use the money for that? We're making these last minute changes and things, and
The word exclusively has to come out, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? The word exclusively has to come out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, section 4.
I mean, so we're changing the whole, we're changing the whole purpose of the ordinance here.
I don't think it's quite that intense.
It may not be for us, but we've gotta look down the road for future councils. You know, if we take it out there and the future council said, if we change it to it's intended for public funding and public school education funding, then they can use whatever they want it to be.
More likely with another council, they come in and just make whatever changes they wanna make if they saw fit that they didn't wanna keep this in place.
That's right.
That's what a new council would do.
So take out section.
So in
3.
section 4, do we need to
Section
put,
4, you wanna remove the exclusive.
it is the intent in front of the word funds?
Tell me again where you are.
Section 4.
Mm-hmm.
Take out exclusive. And then replace with intent.
The funds should be used for public education. It is the intent that funds shall be used for public education purposes benefiting the residents of the city, including support of public schools, contribution to Jefferson County Board of Education, and lawful educational expenses. And then you're gonna have to renumber everything
Once you take 3 out.
once you take 3 out.
Okay.
And by that, we can spend it for any public education purposes. So if we want to educate the public on indigenous plants in the area, we can do that with this money.
If it's a public purpose and you're educating the public.
And the council votes to.
Right. So it's not necessarily going to this, not necessarily going to the schools, the way this is written. I mean, that I would assume the majority will go to the schools, but.
Correct.
Just see a lot of problems with this.
So we just don't know the number until we get principals in place.
Once we talk to the principals,
Okay.
Well,
find out exactly
and
what their need, what we've done in the
Consider our
past.
budget,
Right.
for some of these major
This
expenditures
will be
that we're
centered
gonna
in the
have.
budget.
Right, okay.
Is there anything else that you see?
I call for the motion.
May I suggest something?
Yes, sir.
Since these revisions are being made, I would suggest there be a motion to amend to make those revisions before you vote on so the vote is on the ordinance as amended.
Okay. Do I have a motion to amend ordinance 2602?
Do they wanna amend when it?
You amend your motion.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
Who made the second? Do they concur with the withdrawal? Okay.
Wait, so
So then
Kevin just withdrew his motion.
I withdrew my motion that I made.
So that we can amend it.
Okay.
Okay. So an ordinance to levy an additional 5 mil ad valorem tax within the corporate limits of the city of Clay to provide for the assessment and collection thereof. Amending to create the designated fund. To provide for the appropriation of such funds for public intend, we're gonna use that word right there, to intend for the appropriation.
Yes.
What section you on? She's
At the
in
very
in
top.
First section.
First
Moving
paragraph.
from the top.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
For the appropriation of such funds for public education purposes and to provide for related matters. Where's the next spot?
You're striking section 3.
Taking section 3 completely out.
Right?
And adjustment on.
On
Remove.
4, remove the word exclusively.
Remove exclusive.
Remove section 3. On section 4, it is the intent that the funds shall be used, strike the word exclusively. It is the intent that the funds shall be used for public education purposes and not change anything else in that paragraph.
Okay,
And renumber the sections as appropriate now.
all right. Anything else? If not, then perhaps you can make another motion.
So, I'll make a motion.
We need a vote on the motion to amend as
Right.
just read.
That's where I was headed right now. I'm making a motion to approve ordinance 2026-02 as amended.
Before we get there, Counselor, I think we're missing the step of having a vote on the proposed amendments. And then I think your motion to
Without my motion,
approve as amended would be appropriate. So I think there needs to be a vote.
you think there needs to be 2 steps instead of 1?
Yeah, there needs to be a vote on whether or not to amend
Okay.
as,
Okay, then, yeah, I can do that. I make a motion that we amend ordinance 2026-02 to include the changes that we just discussed.
A second.
Roll call?
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Nail,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Now, I make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-02 as amended.
Second.
Second.
Counselor Thompson,
No.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Nail,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. So ordinance 2602 passes. All right. New business, ordinance 260503, an ordinance to adopt the city's flood damage prevention ordinance.
Did we strike 0502?
We did, that will not be coming up until June. We, found the ordinance that says it has to go to planning and zoning first.
Mayor, I make a motion, we approve ordinance 2026-05-03 as written.
Second.
Second.
Okay, so Tucci says we have to go, didn't we already enter unanimous consent when we did the old business?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're, yeah, all right, thank you.
Who was the motion and the second was?
I made the motion and Chris seconded.
Second.
Well, double second.
All right, Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Nail,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Ordinance 260503 passes. Ooh. Resolution 26501, resolution awarding the 26th annual asphalt and paving contract.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 2026-0501.
Second.
Second.
Counselor Thompson,
I just had one question about these. I know we've already opened the bids on these.
Mhm.
But I know in the past, and I'm not sure why we did it differently, I just wanted to ask, you know, I know in the past we've opened up the bids, like at the council meetings and looked at the bids. I saw that we've opened it, I just didn't know if there was a reason that or if we'd set a time to open them. That was my
There
only
was
question.
there was a public time to open them. Where was it listed?
That was at City Hall Conference Room. The process is handled by your city engineer for any of the public works projects, and that was.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that we did set that in place.
Yes,
We
sir.
did open them to the public, yeah.
Yes, sir, it
That
was
was my
done.
only question.
Yes.
I assumed that Brad took care of that, but that was my only question.
Yes, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction won the bid at $389,500. There were 2 bids in place, Massey Asphalt Pavement at $420,980,000, did not win the bid.
Ready to vote now? Counselor Thompson?
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood?
Yes.
Counselor Now?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Rush?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
Yes. The resolution 0501 passes. Resolution 260502 is a resolution awarding the 2026 annual labor and material equipment contract. 2 bids were received to the advertised invitation to bid. The engineer's recommendation and the city engineer recommended that the city award the bid the base amount of $286,800. There is a backup contractor, Osset Inc., in the base bid amount of $330,950. So,
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-0502.
Second.
Counselor Thompson?
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood?
Yes.
Counselor Now?
Yes.
Counselor Harris?
Yes.
Counselor Rush?
Yes.
Mayor Anderson?
yes. Resolution 0502 passes. Resolution 2026-0503, a resolution to consider approval for alcohol license and liquor discount at the Deerfoot Parkway, Suite 102.
Is there, we can't discuss yet, not unless.
Motions first.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-0503. We can't vote if we don't.
I'm gonna pass you the gavel and I will second that motion so that we can discuss this. I will say that we have reviewed the application and we find no issues with compliance concerning the current zone.
Madam Mayor, if I may ask, just for clarification, I have been looking for licensed liquor lounge 2 establishments in the city. I'm coming up with 2229 County Road 10 as being one. That is going to be, let's see, County Road 10. Was looking also at 2021 Sweeney Hollow, 2235. Let's see, the first one is the Clay Texaco. The second is the Liquor Depot. And the third being the Clay Marketplace. I was curious as to where the 4th liquor lounge license is in the city.
It is at,
Papa Sal's.
it's at the opposite end of Papa Sal's Strip.
Okay.
That was last summer.
That's around 6600 block of Old Sprinkle Road.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I had all those listed. Thank you.
That license has been approved, but I'm not aware that the facility is open and functioning at this point?
It's not, he's not done.
He's not done anything.
They put paper over the, I go by it every day, they put paper over the windows, but I haven't seen them progressing towards it. I know he's not here this evening, I don't know if he stopped that project or not. I do know that we have an ordinance in place, 2025-01, that, it limits the number of lounge retail like liquor class 2, to a total, limited to 3 within a 1 mile radius and no more than 4 total within the city limits. I know that we have that in
Yeah,
place.
that's my question. Why are we trying to vote on a fifth when we have this ordinance in place?
Because that ordinance basically is unconstitutional.
According to-
We're gonna, according to
Is
the
it been
Alabama Constitution,
proven?
well, that's one of the things that we need to address. But in the process, have you received an Alabama liquor license for that property?
No, ma'am, they are waiting for the city hall approval before they process.
They changed it back in '95, and the city has to approve it before the state board. He can apply, but that was a law in and it was mentioned in the case that you had handed, that law was put in place in, I believe, 95 to 96. Was it?
Okay.
Well, that case was 99.
Right.
But I think one of the things with that case, and I don't know all the details, but I can't find, that was in the city of Mobile. And at that time, it didn't look like the city of Mobile had limited the number of the package store licenses in place. So it may or may not be, that case may or may not be relevant. And I don't know if our ordinances, I can't tell you whether ordinance 2025-01 is constitutional or not under that law, because I didn't know anything about that case law until we came in. That's why I was asking you what the case was. I'm glad you had that printed. This is something that we've been discussing since the last council meeting. We knew this was gonna come up, but we didn't have that, or we would've looked it up. I know there's been some other information come out on this, but, so with that in place, I just don't.
It's the Alabama law that makes it unconstitutional.
I think we need to check into that.
Capricious, what was it, capricious and arbitrary?
No, I'm not talking about necessarily the case, but in other words, if the case was one overturned, whichever the case may be, they cited a law that says why, and so I'm asking, what is that law? So if that's something we're gonna apply to our decision.
I mean, the case as I read it, Counselor, revolves around the interpretation of a specific code section.
Okay.
However, it appears to me, in looking at that specific code section, that code section applies to Class 1, Class 2 municipalities. Clay is a Class 8 municipality. I would expect that there would be a parallel statute that applies to a Class 8 municipality, but I would say that I cannot advise.
No, I guess my question still is, well, what code is it? The code you're referring to?
Oh, the code section is Alabama Code Section 28-1-6.
28-1-6.
But I cannot, at present, advise the council that this case law definitively constrains this council. I'm not, until I do a little more review and research, I'm not able to make that, give that advice.
May I make a recommendation that we table this until our attorney can further give us further insight on this at a later date?
Second.
Madam Clerk, was there already a motion on the floor?
Yes.
Okay, we need to clear up that first motion.
Yeah, this was just discussion, right?
Yes, this was just discussion.
Right.
Yeah, there was a motion to approve,
Motion to approve the second, and then we have the
and then we
discussion.
went have the discussion, no vote.
Correct, no, but, so now we need to,
Well, during discussion, the motion to table was raised, so procedurally, if the motion to table passes, then
It resolves the other.
it would remain on the table until such time as the council removed it for a vote on the ultimate.
Okay.
So,
so we're good to vote
on the motion.
on the motion to table.
Yeah.
All right, so Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Now,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Motion 260503 is tabled. Resolution 260504, a resolution amending Resolution 2625 to authorize additional funds in the amount not to exceed $4,500 for the City Fest event, June 27th, 2026, establishing cost limitations, funding source, and providing for related matters.
Mayor, make a motion for resolution 2026-0504 as read.
Second.
Can you remind us how much we've already allocated to the fireworks show?
I believe it was $3,800 was we had said 35 was around what we thought we would be having to spend.
Correct, 35, this is for the June 6th. You've allocated $3,500 to date. And this is asking for an additional 30.
8,000.
Correct.
Or it's 4,500 today we're at. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 8,000.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Now,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Need a motion to end unanimous consent?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Youngblood,
Yes.
Counselor Now,
Yes.
Counselor Harris,
Yes.
Counselor Rush,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes. Our next city council meeting will be Tuesday, May 26th. Yes, we're aware that's the day after Memorial Day, so y'all have big fun on that weekend. And, I can receive a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you for your kind attention.
I'm sorry.